So avid viewers of the channel might remember a few months ago, I used the word game changer a lot when it came to the BMW iX3. Well, this is the new Volvo EX60, and I'm going to get all excited again because this thing, for the lack of a better word, is going to be a game changer. Okay, now we don't have a huge amount of time, but let's run through those key specs because the new Volvo EX60 will get up to 502 miles from a charge. Yes, 502, that is enormous. Now that is about par with the BMW iX3, and it's about 100 more than the new Mercedes GLC with EQ technology. It's a bit of a clumsy name, that one. Also, charging up to 370 kilowatt DC charging on the dual motors, and the single motor is still 320, so super impressive. There is one caveat to that. So we have 3 different powertrain options here, 1 single motor and then 2 dual motor. But unfortunately, that 500 mile range is only relevant to that top spec car. Now, I was talking to some Volvo engineers previously, and they kind of said, you have to picture it as you buy the range and the power sort of comes for free. So when you put it into that perspective, that kind of makes sense. But overall, really impressive things with the range. Now, some of that key technology that has allowed Volvo to hit those incredible numbers is down to the chassis. This is on a brand new architecture called SPA3, and within that are a few brand new technologies that are brand new not only for Volvo, but also for sort of mainstream manufacturing. The first of those are mega casting. Now that takes a lot of individual components around the front suspension or the rear suspension and turns it into one big piece. So that is a good weight saver and also time saver as well. But beyond that, it's also got something called cell to body technology, and it means that the batteries are placed within the chassis themselves rather than in a casing underneath or inside of the chassis. So kind of put it down to, that's kind of the change that went from cars with like a chassis, a rigid chassis or a ladder chassis to a monobody design. So again, really big things. But let's hold on the specs for a minute and focus on design because it looks like a Volvo, doesn't it? But it's much, much cleaner. Now the nose, I think could maybe be a little bit sharper. That's my personal opinion. But the rest of it, really, really clean. We've got this really sleek side. We've got no door handles. Instead, we've got these little sort of nubs here on the door, which actually work really well. There's kind of like a button inside. We've also got frameless doors. That's really nice. We've got these really slick lights that sit up here that sort of give you that typical Volvo shape. Volvo has turned what used to sort of be a separate rear wing and these little sort of air deflectors into one hoop, and that is there purely for aero. But whilst we're back here, let's have a look at the boot. Now, it is absolutely on par for the class. It's not more than the class, but it is on par, which is 523 litres. However, in that typical Volvo fashion, they've been really clever because, as you can see, normal castle shelf, but we've got a big trough down here that actually has 2 separate openings. So the outside of this car was kind of Volvo but slicker. The inside, total revolution. We have a completely different dashboard design here. And the first thing that you'll probably notice, especially if you're into your Volvos, will be this screen because it is no longer portrait aspect. It is back to a widescreen. And actually, I think that's probably the better way to do it. It's just more versatile and it's not quite so confronting as well, weirdly. Anyway, so we've got a brand new touchscreen and it's underpinned by a brand new hardware system. And actually, this is going to be the first car ever to be included with Google Gemini, the sort of AI assistant that Google use that is completely integrated into every single component of the car. So that's really cool. But away from the screen, we've got this sort of tiered dashboard with a sort of small driver's display that sits right by the scuttle and this sort of small oblong steering wheel. I think it's really quite cool, actually. And also, we still have, despite the fact that there's most of the controls on the screen, just enough physical controls and buttons. So we've got some cool joysticks here on the steering wheel. We've got a little volume roller, which is quite funky. And also, you know, proper indicator stalks and window switch controls. We've also got rear window switch controls here, which if you have an EX90, you'll notice that they took them out, but they put them back in. The general sort of ambiance around here is delightful. Now this has got sort of obviously the light colored interior, so we have to sort of do it spec by spec, but inherently it kind of feels like a really upmarket BMW i3 in the best possible type of way, because you don't really have this enormous center console taking up a load of space. Instead, it's kind of open, but there is still plenty of places to put things. So we have a wireless charger that sits under here, and this is a sort of big cubby hole, and you know, you can put all sorts of stuff in there. We've got this large tray down here, which is going to rattle things around in, but that's actually fine because this comes out and we've got, you know, cup holders, and this also is somewhere you can put your phone as well. Unfortunately, because this slides in and out, there is no sort of center console, nor is there a passenger side glove box, weirdly. This is all you get. but it's pretty big and it works quite well. In terms of visibility and that sort of thing, because the dashboard is so low, I've got a really good view out the front. The windows are quite large, despite the fact that it looks quite sleek outside, and visibility at the back is pretty good too. Also, all cars come with a panoramic sunroof, and it can be electrochromic as an option. But what about the back seats? All right, space in the back is very impressive. We've got a completely flat floor. There's loads of legroom, loads of headroom. I know I'm short, but this is mostly going to be used for kiddies. And look, it's absolutely fine. And actually, whilst you're here, did you actually know that you can buy and sell your car at autoexpress.co.uk? If that's something that you want to do, make sure that you click the link in the description and we'll run you through the process. Okay, now that was a really quick walk around of the new Volvo EX60. And I have to say, on first impressions, I am really impressed. Is it going to be a game changer? Well, we're going to have to drive it later in the year to find out. But Volvo has released pricing, and they say it's going to be at under £57,000, which is really impressive. It's slightly cheaper than that BMW, but also, if you want to get the 500-mile range, you're going to have to spend a little bit more, but then you get all that extra power. But we'll have to put all the numbers together when we drive these cars together. But for now, consider me really excited to give this thing a go.